Hello everyone. It's 4 minutes past 9. No countdown. It's all a bit weird. Why have I just suddenly reappeared like this? Long story. I won't bore you with it. Maybe I will. Let's have a look at the old streaming channels. Make sure everything's working as it should be. Ooh, mature audiences. Everything's working as it should be. Oh, that's good. Mature audiences. YouTube working okay? Back to work. Here we go. We are back. Let's go. NPCs cleaning, washing up, mumbling. Oh no, that's not right. Don't know what happened there. So, let me just turn down the music. What should we go for? Something a bit chilled. There we go. What happened? I was here Friday, gone the rest. Well, I don't know if you remember on Friday, but my stream started skipping, my CPU started overheating, everything started going a little bit crazy, and I've been having some problems with my PC for a while, but it finally gave up the ghost, and I ended up having to get a brand new CPU and motherboard, which was a great excuse, if any. So here I am, back again, new PC, well not really a new PC, I've got an old cooler, I've got an old case, I've got everything old in it, but I've got a nice 10900K CPU, and I had to underclock it because I've got no cooling, so I've literally just got a cooler. It's a nail gun. I have just got a cooler, and so I'll be slapping it in soon. But in the meantime, I've underclocked the computer just to get us from now until later in the week. But man, I've lost so much. I mean, I haven't lost anything really. I back up everything I do, but you kind of evolve your streaming setup. I didn't back up any of that. It's kind of like all my setups and scenes are gone, all my transitions. My whole setup's kind of like gone. I don't even have Godot installed at the moment, so I'm gonna have to set stuff up, and it feels like forever. It's been 5 days, so to get back in the swing of things. I think even that on Friday we got knocked for 6 a little bit because the whole storyline changed as well, so that's obviously going to impact my momentum somewhat, but I do like the idea of where we're going, and thank you very much, Stephanie Marks. I have here a brief history of time travel. Obvious, what's the word? Obvious advertising here. Go buy it on Amazon. Available on all good Amazon accounts. It is the book that is inspiring what we're now going to try and create. So we are going to do a mini adventure involving Mauro Sandoval and his companion Time. So that is the goal moving forward. So we've got some new sub goals. I really like these. We need to be able to move forwards and backwards in time within the game. So that's going to be an interesting little conundrum. So we need to be able to record the process of things happening and then replay them. Does that mean we need to be able to replay dialogues? I'm hoping this is possible in a way that makes sense. It does raise all sorts of questions as to how the gameplay mechanic will work, and so I do need to have a conversation with Steph about that. So let's get Godot reinstalled or downloaded. Godot. That will take all of 5 seconds. Beauty of Godot. If you're not using Godot yet, just go and download it and have a play around. It's so easy. It's so fabulous. Getting messaged. Probably just to say that my stream is going on. Yeah. Someone apologising for missing me, but pretty sure I didn't miss them. Man, I can't wait to see where 1-Bit Godot is up to. 1-Bit Godot is checking the features of Godot in GDScript, implementing a visual novel engine. Ooh, is he on now? Oh, he's on now. Fantastic. I'll just say hey. Hey, 1-Bit. I'm back. Catch up with you later. Let's see if I can see what he's doing.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm ending the session soon, so I'll go over.
Van.js Tutorial Master.
Okay, so I'll end the session now.
Oh, I think he's... I wonder if he's using yarn or something. Oh, he's ending his stream.
Tomorrow we'll actually continue this.
Can you hear that?
So I'll end the stream now.
He's off. Literally just off now. Ah! Well, interesting. Just see what he's doing there. Label descriptions, images, story. Oh, we've got a lot to catch up on. Well, as is customary now, as of last week, we're going to have a quick check on the Godot Reddit, see what everyone's up to, see what's going on. I wonder if 1-Bit's posted anything up. Let's have a little search. That would mean signing in. There we go. It's my old school name. Is there a search? Pretty sure there is. Let's have a look. Yeah. No. Well, let's see what we've got. So, beta 3 on the Godot engine, that's 5 days ago. Might have covered that already. What's this? Oh, is that sheep? Oh, is it carts? That's cool. That's carts, I think. Trading carts. Looking good. Level up your snack with Pringles. That'll be an advert. Nice. Telegraphed attacks. Bouncing baby boy. After creating this bouncing baby boy and putting him in Godot, think of going further, building on this art style. What do you think? Yeah, it's cute. Nice motion to it. Made a Steam lobby for my game, Last on Land, using Godot Steam. Let me know what you think, and also if you like a tutorial on how to use Godot Steam. This video tutorial is very lacking on YouTube right now. Well, hell yeah, why not? That'd be awesome. It's definitely getting an upvote. Awesome. Yes, please. Let's get that in there. To right. What else have we got? Highlights have changed to GDScript coming in 4. Ooh. Let's see what's happening. Okay, GDScript 2. Okay, yeah. Oh wow, there's going to be a lot of changes then by the sounds of things. Annotation, some keywords will be replaced by annotations. At tool, at on ready, so on. Yield is now await. Oh, blimey. I suppose it makes more sort of sense technically. So await some signal, which works the same as yield did before. Await my funk. Oh, that's cool. Very nice, making it easy for noobs like me. Init is now new. Hey, 1-Bit, how you doing, man? Oh man, I can't wait to see what you've got up to in the last few days. I'm just catching up on what's new. I've missed a lot. What have you been up to? What have you? What's your favourite bit of development in the last few days? I can't wait to see what you've done with Twitch. Really, honestly. Super keyword for super calls. Previous syntax for super calls was use funcname. Dot funcname, open close bracket. Oh, I am not familiar with super calls at all. Plugins, networking, and visual. My goodness, mate. You are biting off a lot. I have to say, you're creating so much good content. You need to stop just streaming it and start really knocking out loads of videos on it, because it's you know what's frustrating is like being able to pluck the stuff that's really specific and interesting, because it gets kind of like what I do really gets drowned out in this big noise of, you know, yada yada yada, let's look at this, look at that. What you're doing is so specific and so taught, you're teaching it so well. You need to like put that in YouTube videos as well as your stream, and so I can favorite them all and go, yeah, I want to watch this bit and watch that bit. You can create a good library out of your videos so far. I hope you're recording them all onto your hard drive so you can just re-edit them and pop them back up. First, what's a super call? You seen super calls one bit? Call the same function you're in, and super is enough. Super calls. Functions that override functions with the same name. Oh, okay, right. Gotcha. If you still want to call them, use dot. I see. So you override the function here, but to call the original, you use a dot. Fabulous. So what's changed? Previous syntax was to use a dot. Now you have to say super dot. You want to call the same function you were in, then super is enough. Alright, okay. Don't know how often you need to do that. First class functions and signals. Now we have signal and callable as variant types. They're used to represent first class object. So instead of calling button connect, button up, self on button up, you can get the signal and connect to the function button dot button up connect on button up. Button up, connect, button up. It's supposed to use strings. Oh, that's so much nicer. Oh my goodness. Note that callable has a call function, so if you want to pass functions around, you need to call them like this. var x equals my func x call. Using x won't work. Cool. Broken things, set get. Interesting. That's not entirely the same as the meta stuff, right? Jolly good. What else have we got? Let's have a little sneaky peek at a few more things here. Boss design, looking cool. No attractors for particles. What? What? I don't even know what's going on there. He's created an attractor for particles by the looks of things. Making a chill car game using Godot. Nice. That's fun. A few more updates. Oh, look. It looks very, very... what's that game called? Looks like a really cartoony version of... I think it's Lone or something. That was a cool game. Working on a couch multiplayer platformer. More in comments. I have to say, like, one of my favourite hobbies, well, pre-coronavirus, was couch multiplayer platformer games in our office. We had a cool setup. We've got a big projector, got the big sofa, 4 Xbox controllers, and we would mainly play things like what's that game? Tree. I can't remember what it's called. We had bows and arrows. You had to attack people. More adverts. Oh, boss design again. Looking good. It's like a broken version. A lot of people working on procedural animation at the moment. I've seen this quite a bit. That's pretty cool. Everyone seems to use the same example though. Procedural movement of legs and eyes and stuff. That's so awesome though. I love that. That's probably one of the better examples. I did see a cool 2D, I can't remember what it was, it's like some sort of weird monster, and as you moved it through the level it would like grab onto things. That was probably the best example I've seen. That's awesome, I love the eyes. That's my favourite bit, even though that's probably the easiest bit. Oh, look at this! Meta Inspector. Oh, one bit. Look at this. Add custom variables to any node from the GUI. Oh man, that is so cool. But wait. How? Oh, there it is. It's a plugin. Allows you to view and edit hidden metadata. You can use this effectively to add custom variables to any node you want without attaching scripts. My big concern with using other people's plugins is not knowing how they work, and them breaking and not being supported moving forwards. Apart from yours one bit. I'm sure this is pretty straightforward though, right? Let's have a little sneaky peeky. What's this? Custom inspector. So yeah, so this is the tool, and it's stepping through the objects. And adding a meta inspect thingy where it should. Let's have a look. Real-time updater. So this is an example of it in action. It's going to be this here. There we go. So this is the main crux of the code. Wow, okay. Bloody hell, it's quite in depth. I would have thought it'd just be like a few lines. Oh my goodness. What? Surely not. So this is an editor plugin which allows you to inspect the contents of a node's metadata and allows you to delete, undo, redo, move stuff around. Oh, he's really gone, he or she has gone very full on with this to make it as consistent with the existing UE as possible by the looks of things. Makes you wonder if it was worth it. There's a lot of things to potentially go wrong in old GD script 2. That's really cool. I will bookmark that in my coding section. We'll call it. Yeah, we'll call it that. And it created the entire UI using code rather than a scene. That's why it's too long. Yeah, totally. That's pretty crazy. Have you how's you getting on with your Twitch plugin? Is it ready for public consumption yet? Can't wait to see it. You know what I was playing with today? I was playing with... I don't know if I've still got it up. Let's have a look. No, I don't have it here. I was playing with Discord bots. Bots and webhooks, which is quite interesting. Just as part of my work, but it's quite interesting. So, let's. I'm really missing my setup here. I've not got any of my scenes. I thought, you know, I could spend another day setting it all up, but I thought, no, you know what? I've got to get back to what actually matters. It's nice to just, you know, when I started the stream, it was just, you know, little camera at the bottom and working away, and it's nice to sort of evolve. Now I got to do that evolving again, but you learn each time you... Oh, the plugin is completed and tested. Oh, nice. The game that uses it is not finished. Have you... I mean, if you need a tester, I'm on. You gonna play? What you gonna do tomorrow? You gonna have a play with it? I am so excited to see it. You know what I saw the other day as well? Godot. No, not farm. Crossing. Yeah, this. Sound working? Here it comes. Oh. Nope. That is not it. There it is. Is this it? No. That's pretty cool though. Not what I was looking for. If I just type in Animal Crossing. See, I'm not fantastic with this. Let me find it because it's quite cool. Great day for the markets today, by the way. There we go. Let's have a look. Right. If I just Google this, I created a GD script, Animal Crossing style dialogue. Surely Google has indexed this already. There it is. 2 days ago. Check this out. So it is a dialogue generator that plays wave files in a particular order to match up with the text you write. In Animal Crossing, true Animal Crossing style. Let's turn on the audio here. Turn this down a bit. This is awesome. Here we go. Bit annoying, but still pretty cool. Very cool. Could do with like a what was it called? There was a cartoon back in the day called Peanuts, and it had teachers, and they sounded like this, right? Where is it? There it is. I think actually there's pretty there's quite a lot of anime with voices like that. So I'd quite like to do something like that. We'll come back to it. Ability to switch levels in time. That is the main issue I have at the moment. You can check out the video from 2 days ago. That's when I showed how the Twitch plugin works. Oh, cool. Let's have a look. I'm going in. 2 days. Yesterday, day before. Ooh. What's this? A new intro screen. Oh! Winbar! Wait, what's going on here?
Probably post.
Ah, right, okay. I like your desktop. Let me just admire your desktop here. Hold on a sec. Ah. I'm sure it looked a little bit different before. You just changed your background.
I'll use it to develop a sample rig.
Now it looks like you're streaming at like full 2K resolution there, right? That looks like 20. What's it called? 2040p or something. Hey Ender, how's it going, man? Is that 1080? Oh my God, it looks really good.
So then develop another plugin.
I am actually currently streaming at 720p. So you're Gucci, nice. I see you've been working on some combat. Interesting. Come over to that in a sec. Just looking at 1bit's
So I'll create a new.
awesome Twitch stuff. So,
Let's create some scripts for
uh-oh. Bonnie, shush, come here. Come, up.
number, the author.
Okay. Oh wow, you're actually showing how to set it up.
So it's not active, you can't use any.
Oh, nice.
Now it should have a special icon, but because this is the first time we copied the
Right, I need to. Can I bookmark this page? I share it with myself,
it doesn't actually appear, so it doesn't auto update.
so I can watch that later. Oh, better not share my email, eh?
Project list and I'll open the project again. Okay.
1bit
Then,
Twitch
the next
tutorial.
All right, you can see the.
This has got to be a YouTube video, mate. Honestly, this is huge.
Will now be visible. So this helps us to easily identify the component, the type of component by its icon. Okay. Now, I'm not going to cover the implementation of the actual plugin. I've already finished it, so I'm not going to go through the development, but I still have to go through to show you how to use it. And as I go through showing you how to use it, I will also look inside the code and explain part of the code for you.
Nice. Oh, well, I won't. I could watch the whole thing here, but that could take a while. Let's see. How far do you get with it?
What you need to do is, let's do a summary. Project settings, right? And you activate this plugin. Or they might want to.
There's the whole stream on it.
They might get random as key.
Ooh, it is. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Return bool. Okay. Get points. Get random index. Get random as key. Get random index array. Random as key array. Get random as key. Okay. So all the things which I would need for my work game. Alright. So I'm happy with this one. Let's just make sure that the icon is okay, right, appearing correctly. Alright. So now I have already integrated the Twitch chat component with the game, and I've also implemented a new plugin, alright, for a word list. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do.
I want to see it in action.
So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to publish this. I'm going to commit this repository and then publish it to my GitHub account. But before I do that, I need to make sure that I remove the
private information.
Game as Twitch
cool.
integration.
So it is that a public repository then? Yeah? Ooh. Ooh. I love your pixel art, mate. I was having a look at your
All right.
is it Twitter or Instagram? I can't remember. But I saw your your pixel art. Very good. Very talented.
Nice. Nice is actually detected I'm using GDScript.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so the add-on under here. All right. So the Twitch add-on in here, you want to use it for your game.
Nice.
And also have the words.
Oh, well, mate. I am looking forward to having a go on that. That sounds awesome, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, here's your... right, okay. Probably needed to have the chat on while you were playing with that. Cool. Right, well, I'm going to have a look at that. That sounds fantastic. Around 51 minutes. I'm going to watch the whole thing, man. But let's have a quick look. Just, if there's a demonstration there. Videos... 51. There we are.
Okay. So now proven that your game can detect the user entering the channel. You want to auto register them for the game, go ahead. Auto add them, auto join them to the game, up to you. And
Brilliant.
if they leave the channel, you can also remove them from the game immediately if you want.
Dude,
to.
that is fantastic. It just made it so easy for everyone just to dive in there.
User join, user left. But these two, I don't really need to use them in my game, because if they want to join the game, they have to send me a message saying they want to join the game. If they want to leave the game, they can also send me a message telling me that they want to leave the game. And I would build in a timer for each player after they join the game to monitor when was the last time they sent a message. So within a certain period, if I did not receive a message from the user, maybe 10 minutes, I consider them as not playing the game anymore. Then I will sort of kick them out. And then another player will be able to take over their place. Another user will be able to join as a player.
That's awesome, man.
I'm more interested in this one. But anyway, I'll still leave.
That is brilliant. Oh my god, right. I'm so excited to play around with that. I need more time in the day. It's just generally more time for my life. Maybe I need a holiday. And that would probably help. I'm just going to fire up Discord here. Move it over here. Whoop. Well, that's not... There we go. Just jump into the... Oh, look at that. That's weird. It's pushing my screen. Oh, it doesn't shrink any more than that. Wow. Really? There we go. Yeah, Ender Rifter, I sent you a little message in reply to your real-time versus turn-based. Thinking it's turn-based, but it's up to you. Hold on. Doggy is moaning. Come here. What's up? Come here. Come. Hop, come. Come on. Come. Oi! Oh my god. You're a big old lump. Here, just lie here with me. So, yeah, I'm just catching up at the moment on everything I've missed. So on Friday, we started talking about how we might make this some sort of, have a sort of fundamental sort of time management element to the game. So moving the character backwards and forwards in time. I think on a local level, like moving back 5 minutes and then moving back 10 minutes and going back and doing that many times and seeing yourself could be kind of tricky. Why don't you go in that little spot there, Bonnie? There you go. There you go, cozy. I need a little doggy cam. So there's some fundamental gameplay aspects I need to get my head around if I'm going to implement something like this. Ability to switch levels in time is pretty... I think that's not going to be a problem. We've just got to create maps that are disconnected from one another, but replicas of each other, as they were. So it's just different locations and some sort of teleportation from one element to another. So I suppose you'd pause what's going on in one map and unpause it in another. It's very game specific though, rather than kind of wanting to create some sort of an engine that would apply to everything. So if there was something, I don't want to make it too hardcore in terms of how it's implemented in the game. What's up? Oh, he's not happy. What's the matter with you? You want a treat? You got water? Got treats? Oh, he's looking very grumpy. Do you want to come up here? Oh, okay. Come on then. He wants to stand in front of me. Oh, there you go. There you go. Don't press all my letters at once. Jeez. There we go. Oh, he's lying straight on the keyboard. And he's done. There you go. You happy now? No, I literally can't type now. Perfect. Just what I need. At least I can press the undo button. So let's have a look at the stuff that's crossed out. Enable characters to move and movement. Okay, so time travel, fast forward schedule, rewind schedule, key events. With time travel, I need to rethink how all this works. If I'm going to fast forward a schedule, I suppose I need a way of instantly teleporting players around rather than making them move very quickly. I don't think that's too hard. Rewind schedule, that's a little bit trickier. We track what the player did and what the NPC did, and what do we delete that? How does that rewinding work? What does it actually do? Is it necessary? How does it solve a problem? I feel like even this is maybe a step too far compared to what we have at the moment. And this might be like the time travel aspect and the fast forwarding aspect. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it's not as simple as that, because we also need to know. We need to know that we were there. If you travel back in time, Ender, 5 minutes, you're going to be there 5 minutes ago, right? And you are going to do the same stuff you did within those for the next 5 minutes. So you haven't removed yourself from time. You're back watching yourself before you went back in time, right? So you're not just reverting the previous state. You are storing the previous state in everything you did in those 5 minutes and replaying it so you can watch yourself do it again. I think that was like one of the components of it, was that, it's like Back to the Future. You're going back and watching yourself do stuff and you're like, oh, just add yourself as another character. Can you imagine though? It just, it sounds easy enough, but can you imagine the impact on the engine if you have everyone doing everything multiple times, and the sort of, as that builds up? It could be really cool, but it's got to be done in a controlled fashion that makes sense. It's just, there's no point just making it do something unless we understand what the purpose of doing that is. And I don't know what that purpose is. If we're creating combat elements, for example, do you want to just be able to rewind? Well, actually, it might be quite handy. But then you're not going to observe yourself fighting. You're going to want to rewind for the purpose of trying the fight again, right? Not observing yourself doing the fight and stepping in and saying, watch out, he's going to left hook you. Although that might be fun as well. I think at the moment I've got to focus on the... what I'm trying to do is work out what I've got to focus on right now. And Well, I've just downloaded it. So let's downloads. Godot. Let's extract these files. Bring it in. Oh, there's a folder with the same name. Oh, yep, so there is. That's annoying. There you go. The folder had an executable name. Alright, we are back in business. Oh yeah. And we want to set the project folder, so E dev Godot dev projects 12 projects. What have we got here? Anything entertaining? Not really. Right. Alright, back. Let's just remind ourselves of where we were. Oh, what? Oh no, how dare I end a stream with a bug. I've never done that. Ender says, thinking about it a little more, you can have a sort of journal which stores all the actions made to the world. Every time you or an NPC makes an action, you write it in the journal. You can set a timestamp to this action. That way, when you rewind, you can simply add yourself as a new character. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But as an audio adventure, those sounds will just sound like a big jumble of, you know, it's not like you're watching someone do something. It's an audio adventure, right? So you're replaying. What are you going to replay? Replay some footsteps moving out. It's kind of weird. It sounds great as a concept, but we will see. We will see. The identifier sound to load isn't declared. Ah, look at that. I even wrote to do. Get sound to load randomly from character script object. Ah, right. That's what we were doing. We were. You simply add the audio cues to the journal to replay the correct time. Yeah, absolutely. If I could just play you this now without it crashing, which I can't. Right. Hear those footsteps? That's someone walking off. Footsteps walking in. Entering the lift. And all that stuff. If we're replaying all that, whilst it's also happening. If you've got an NPC walking in, another NPC walking in, and I see it as a jumble. It's already a bit of a jumble. I'm trying to create some sort of separation from all the things that are going on so that it has structure to it. It's kind of like we're introducing a character, right? So, all right, our player does all this stuff, so we just put them in here, and here they are as a character. I don't know. I just think it's a bit weird. Like, how are we interacting? What's the puzzle? What was the purpose? Why are they there? How do they see us? What is it doing? There needs to be more purpose than just like, this is how we do it. I don't know what the purpose is. If we don't know what the purpose is, then how is it going to be fun? Well, if you interact, I don't know. I don't want to break the. I haven't read the book yet. I need to read the book. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. I just don't know how that's going to be implemented. You know, what are we going to do? So, I mean, if we look at like the scripts and things that you can do, right? So, and remember, at the moment, the way I've coded it, the NPC is very different to a player. But look, so when a player does something, it's very different because it's from your perspective. When an NPC does it, that's an altogether different thing. But I mean, I'm sure we could do that. We've just got to create, like, for example, if I go in the lift and go up the lift, I'm going in, I'm interacting with the button, I am, I'm getting narrative played to me. So we're going to store like moved into lift, press the button, moved up. Fantastic. Now, if we look at the game script and we look at all the stuff that could happen when you do this stuff. Are we playing this stuff? Are we playing back what he says? Are we playing back him saying, it's a picture of my mum. She was 8 months pregnant with me. Are we playing back him turning on the TV? That would be pretty cool, actually. So then you can turn it off. Does he not interact with you in any way? I don't know. There's just so many questions. If we're going to travel in time, there's got to be a purpose to it, and there's got to be some sort of restriction. Otherwise, things will break. I guarantee it. I think if we're going to take the idea of time travel into the game, then what we need to do is determine what the puzzles are going to be and how it's going to work before we code it. Then we can decide what happens if you see yourself. Then we can decide how you travel back and the functionality around it. If I just make it so that we go back and record everything. What narrative? You need to read the book. Read the book. A Brief History of Time Travel. It's narrative. The narrative purpose is that we're potentially writing a game that revolves around the story that involves time travel. So there has to be more to the point, what's the gameplay purpose that time travel will serve, right? I was going to say server there. So we'll work that out, though. I'm sure we'll work that out. These are just problems to overcome one at a time. First things first is, how do I type in this code while Bonnie's lying on my keyboard? And how do I get him out of here or move him such that I can code? You want to go to sleep? You want to go to sleep on the bed? No? So, is this a puzzle game? It is many things. The fact that we will be able to move around, pick things up, interact with things, by its very nature means that it will have some kind of puzzle elements to it, right? By design, we've created it so that we can do all this sort of thing, right? I can turn on a TV, I can turn off a TV, I can interact. So narrative will drive the game forward. Puzzles, combat, the gameplay elements will build up the core. Well, if you never played a combat if you never played a game with combat in, that's a puzzle game. No, well, exactly. Why the hell not? Well, it's about time, eh? I think, to be honest, pretty much every RPG game I've played is has some sort of element of puzzle in. As well as narrative, as well as combat, right? It's like what's it called? Undertale, right? That's not really very puzzly, but it has got puzzles in it, right? Yeah, I know. I think the depth of experience, having an experienced system and being able to build your character up is one key to it. And I think that is, what we're creating is an RPG game at the end of the day, right? We are in location, we can move around, we can interact, and so on. It's like an audio version of The Witcher, right? It's an audio version of Fallout. Yeah, well, absolutely. So the engine is facilitating the game. We don't need to worry about the fact that it's time travel. We don't need to worry about the fact that we don't need to worry about the narrative so much. Do you mean for the purposes of rewinding time? I mean, honestly, when it comes to the combat stuff, never written something like that. Don't know what approach you've taken, and I haven't got the first clue as to how I'd even start tackling it. I would just, I'd probably start by looking at how other people have done it, decide on which approach I preferred, and then move from there. How do you serialize a combat at this point? At this point, I'm torn between supporting a limited set of archetypes of combat actions, melee, ranged, heal, cast skill, or using an external script to define the combat action. You have a GD script for each different action. That's a good question. And it's something I've struggled with this as well. Yeah, well, imagine you... Well, that's good. You imagine you play the game, and and you beat someone to death, and then you're like, oh no, I killed them. We better go back in time and... What are you reading? Oh, he's not happy. What's up? I'm not sure what you read the other way around. So, aren't these attack types, they're all the same thing, right? They're all just an action. So it's really just what the... So you've got, I mean, honestly, I haven't got the first clue, but you've got I'm just imagining you've got some sort of action class. And then essentially your melee attack, your ranged attack, your heal, your cast, and so on are just, oh my goodness, come on, let's get in here, just getting tangled up. There you go. I'm just going to let him out. He's not happy. 2 seconds. Come on then. Go. Jules, I'm sending out Bonnie. Really not happy. I know. So it's just, everyone's shouting. The SpaceX rocket got cancelled. which is a bit of a shame because it's impacted the share price of Virgin Galactic. How do you serialize the interaction between the caster of the attack and the target? I just want to have a limited set of archetypes containing attack, heal, cast heal, and cast skill. Then individual attacks will specify different attributes for these. Well, your guess is as good as mine, man, honestly. That's a question I would have to answer by looking at the many times it's been done before by others. Interesting though. Punch is simply an attack with a type of melee and damage X. Yep. Then you can have all sorts of heal, either positive or negative, in which case we have poison. Nice, yep. And different statuses can simply be strings that other entities are tagged with. We then define status effects some other way. Status effects? Status is the right word. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Absolutely. Because that way you've got a control file and you can just tweak it to suit whatever game is being adapted, right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely sounds good. I think for this specific game, it doesn't need to be too in depth. I'd certainly be most interested in like how you can make it unique to this. How can you set it apart from your standard, your everyday? I don't know if it's possible. Yeah, I think generic's good, because once you've got the generic, then you can look at it's like design, right? You often design something to be as simple and functional as possible before you then tweak it. Some of the best logos are like really simple, but have been adjusted slightly in a way that makes it unique. I don't think you're in a mess, are you? Do you feel like you're in a mess? Have you looked anywhere for inspiration on this? Looked at any other examples? There's bound to be a lot of GD scripts, GD script fight game or something like that, right? No, I know it's not, but it's interesting to read about it, right, and see how different people do it. But yeah, you're right. I've quite often will not do that just so that I come up with something. Too right, man. Too right. I agree. Good. Oh dear. Right, okay. You know what? It's 5 minutes past 10. I was only going to do an hour today because I've got a cooler to put in my PC. I've got to set up my stream. I've got so much stuff to do, and I only really get the afternoons to kind of do it. This is the last 3 hours, and then I have to go to bed. It's frustrating, this thing we call life, when you've got a job and you have to basically do a load of stuff before you get some time to yourself. So what I'll probably do is just catch up on this. I'll catch up with you on Discord afterwards, though, if you're going to be around. So all I want to do is get the sound to play or load randomly from a character script, and then play it. So this is the greeted player. Man, I've totally forgotten where I was. It seems to have remembered what files I had open, which is amazing. How? I must have saved my project state into GitHub, which is pretty cool. So what have we got? We have got play NPC audio. So okay, so the big question really is, how does it decide what to load and where does it get those sounds from? And so we decided to create a per script. So we've got character scripts, and these control everything about the character. So did we set one up? We did, yeah. So we set one up here for Graham, and we actually created meow noises. So we have a audio NPC enters. So I'm sure I typed some rules up for this, didn't I, and put it up in here on Friday. Let's see. Maybe I put it down at the bottom. It's on that. How's the resolution look, by the way, at 720p? In fact, I can just have a look. See how easy it is to see. Oh, can I not rewind? That's annoying. I have to put it over there. It's pretty small, isn't it? Editor settings, font. Main font size, custom display scale. What's that do? Let's go for 1.3. Doesn't seem to have made any difference whatsoever. Main font size. Let's bump that up a bit. Oh yeah, I can see that already. That's a bit better. What about our code? Is that? Oh yeah. What a difference. Is there like a code font size? Oh yeah, look at that. And now we're talking. Yeah. Let's get that up to 20 for you guys. There we go. There we go, one bit. That is how we do 720p streaming and allow people to see the code. I mean, the code's what counts, right? Maybe we'll go for 22. Oh, look at that. I hope I don't have any long lines. Streamception. So Bob, is it Bob? No, it's Graham. Close that. Close character. Keep character. Close player. Close message box. Close game script, and focus on Graham. So we've got that. I'm just going to copy that and go back to character. On audio control, NPC transition out. Okay, so that's when the NPC leaves the player. So when the NPC arrives, there we go. Has Graham said anything before? We want to trigger the first time. If the player has never been greeted before, we're just going to play the first sound in that list. So we need to determine what that sound is. It doesn't matter. I think we're just so we're going to randomize. Is it with a Z? Yeah. We're going to randomize, and we're going to set a random character here. We'll just call it sound to play. No. How do we do this in an easy way? It's going to be audio NPC enters for the character. How do we know who the character is? Because we're in the character. So self dot audio NPC enters. If we got access to the script at this point, how do we get access to the script? That's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Because the scripts aren't part of the character class. So it means that the character will need to load up the interaction script, which it does as a not the interaction script, the behavior script. How are we going to do this? Yeah, I have done. They are in here. So I've got a var at the moment, but actually what we need to do is we need to do something more like this, right? And load this file. I could save this against the character, but I kind of wanted to have everything out as these separate scripts. 2 secs. You're right. How am I loading schedule at the moment? Behavior.load schedule. So I'm loading the script up here. Whenever you want to do an interaction, you check that file to see what to do. Then write the result, if any, to the file. Are you thinking like the journaling system? Like storing what the interactions were? I'm not there yet. I think I'll get to that, definitely. If that's what you mean. At the moment we're loading a script that we've defined. Write all possible interactions to a file, then read from it if when necessary. Yeah, right, absolutely. So that's what I'm doing right now, right? So this is my file here. So func get NPC enters. Yeah, and just return that. Oops, don't need that. That works. As long as I've got a reference to the script. Which I have. It's called behavior. So, sound to play, audio NPC, so it's not going to be that. It's going to be behavior dot get NPC enters, which is going to pass us an array, right? So that is an array, but we want to pick a random element from that array. So what is it? Random integer based on the size of this array, and I don't know what the Randy. Okay, so okay. So all I'm going to be doing then is saying, is it dot size? I think that's it, right? Audio controller isn't declared. feel like I'm constantly creating references everywhere to everything. Where I need it. But I do seem to do this repetitively. Is there like should I be doing this in like a central file so that everything has access to... What's wrong with that? Oh, audio underscore controller. There we go. I'm actually doing it there. So I don't need to do it there because I've declared it now. Anywhere else? Cool. Just saved ourselves an extra call. Imagine if you change the name of audio controller and have to change it in multiple files. Yeah, exactly. I'd have to change it. Yeah, oh totally. Yeah, Control H, right? Oh, not in this editor. Yeah, I'm just see this on ready where we do it on load. If just doing it in one place would be great, like global dot audio controller, global dot player. Maybe that would be like a good way, because you know global's auto loaded. So just for next time. So this should work, I think. So that should give us a random sound to play from the collection of sounds that the NPC's got as a string. So I should be able to get rid of that. And if the player hasn't been greeted yet, then go ahead and greet the player. Don't know what the name bit was again. Play NPC audio. What do we need name passed in for? Let me just remind myself. Character object name. Oh, right. Yeah, we pass it in as a string, so we don't have to worry about where it sets the directory that we're loading the sound from. Right, so otherwise, we create a random chance of a sound playing. Less is more. So what are the chances of us saying hello again? Well, let's say they're pretty low. Let's say it's like, what do you think, 5%? 10% chance of me saying, all right, Ender, again, next time you come into the room? Let's go for a 25% chance just because we're messing around. So we'll set a variable here under behavior. We'll call it repeat probability, and we'll set it to random. How should we do this? Have a default greeting like hey or what's up? Yeah, I have, and we're just about to test it. We have got a default, but I imagine you've got to go in every time and it's like hey, 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 hey. There's a lot of heys. So we do it the first time, and then the second time it's a random possibility that will happen. Yeah, but you know you're used to that person being there now, so you don't necessarily want to do it. Yeah, if the game was self-aware, then what we'd do is we'd look to see when they last saw the character, right? So we'd actually keep a timer. Yeah, totally. There's so much little detail you could once you start getting into this. It's like, oh, how much detail should I add? But we've got to focus on the core gameplay mechanics, and then allow the implementer to decide whether they give them the tools to implement that detail if they want to. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. Repeat probability. So what do we do? Random integer out of 100, right? And we'll just turn that into a fractional value. I think you could have just done it as a float anyway, right? I don't even know if that'll work. Okay, so now we've got a 0.1 to 1. So if they've greeted the player previously for now, we're going to say if repeat probability. No, we've got to. Yeah, we've got to roll the die. Oh no, wait. Okay, all right. So repeat probability is just going to be set here, right? So we'll say it's 0.2. 25. So when we roll the dice, if it's up to 0.25, then we'll allow it to happen. So we'll just roll the dice. We should have a little function for this, right? Especially if we're going to do like combat, you should have like a roll d6, roll whatever. You could just like, you know exactly what probability you're rolling. But anyway, so if roll the dice equals that, if repeat probability, if the roll the dice is less than the repeat probability, then we will play another sound randomly. There we go. Create a random chance of a sound playing less is more. Generate a random chance of playing a particular sample of the set. Right. Are we good? We're good. Let's try it out. Right, so now we should be greeted by Graham the cat the first time we meet him. Or either he comes in the room or we go in the room. So there he is. He's not talking to us at the moment. And he's off. Footsteps, even though he's a cat. He certainly didn't meow, did he? Oh, we got an error though. So he left the room. Bob came in. Bob doesn't have these values set up yet. So we just need to go into Graham's script here. We'll just set some clear these out. Clear those out. And we'll have to set some checks to make sure we don't have any null values. Okay, let's just see if that works first of all. Probably won't. Wait a minute, I don't think Graham ever goes to the lift. He just walks around the sitting room. He hasn't crashed, which is good. Oh, wait, it has. That's it? Yeah, it's crashed. Okay, so basically, get NPC enters size in base. Oh, bollocks. This is a really crap way of doing it. I don't really want to have functions inside the behavior script, because then I have to copy the bloody functions out. I need to create a behavior class and extend it. Right? This is where I need your input, guys, because this is my weak spot, right? So I think we want to have a new class. Wow, wait a minute. This is going to have a massive impact because it's a script, and I'm loading the script dynamically. Sucks. Is there a better way than having to create a function on every page? Damn it. Yeah, what to do? Any suggestions? Can I not just go, do I need to actually have a function for that? Oh, thank you, Restream. Right, let's go back into character. And we just get that. Right? Play. Best make it abstract behavior scripts. Extend that for each character. Better yet, keep it general. Data-driven design. DTDEDSG. I'm looking at your capital letters there. And implement the actual logic in separate files for each character, and then have behavior script doing all the heavy lifting. Yeah, totally. Of course, yeah. That's not going to work when it's 0. Okay, so for now, because as always, I'm going well over, I just need to do a check to make sure that there's actual results for it before we do anything. I just want to see why it's not playing Graham's noise. So I'm just going to do a if name equals Graham here, and then debug it. Let's see what happens. Graham leaves. Graham comes back, and it didn't even get triggered. Graham's all over the place. Does that mean our transition out's not working? Print transition out for transition in even. Keep an eye down here. I'll tell you what, you can put the font size up all you like, but it'll never update the output. Nah, doesn't look like anytime. Oh, transition out for Bob. So Bob came in. Bob didn't come in. He's not here. Ooh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I'll have to check the logic there. Is Graham coming back? See, it should transition out for AI there, right? Interesting. So this connector here is connected to... Is it connected specifically to Bob? Oh no. Well, you look at that. It's not... The signal is specific to the node. Oh, it did. My signal is specific to the Bob target, which means it only fires if the target is Bob. How do we make it a generic target? What on earth have I done to make it? That's because the character script is related to all our nodes inherit the character script, and the signals. For goodness sake. So, okay. Alright. Well, I think now is good enough time as ever to call it a day, but I just need to put a little note on where we are. Oh look, I did say finish MPC create function 180. I just need to make it bigger, because I clearly didn't see it. Currently, the signals are connected to Bob, not the character. They should connect to any character Investigate. Once again, I hate it when I'm not committing some code at the end, but it's just not going to happen. Oh wow, look, we've got a big gap. Where is it? Over here? Yeah. I'm sure that wasn't there earlier. It's so weird. Anyway, that's my window, I think. Oh no, it's my desk. I'm watching a screen that's me like a few seconds ago. So, Christ. Oh God. Well, guys, it's a rocky road back to streaming. My goodness. But I'll try to get back to this tomorrow and get this smooth again. Get us back on track. It's gonna take me a while. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go open up my PC, put some water cooling in it, and pray to God that I don't electrocute myself or destroy the motherboard and CPU. Fun, fun, fun. If I'm not back tomorrow, good chance that I've destroyed my computer. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll leave it for the weekend. Either way. Right. Thanks for entertaining me. Thanks for watching. And have a fantastic night. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Night Ender, night 1-bit, night guys. Bye. Now where is it again? Oh yeah, I'm not using Streamlabs anymore. I'm using good old plain OBS, which actually I prefer. I didn't think I would, but it's just so much nicer just using this. Bye.